To Royal Palms, Butabika, the estate that has stood extraordinary, the estate that gives you that exclusive neighborhood. For those who haven't been to Royal Palms is an exquisite neighborhood way out of Kampala, but with every facility and every amenity you'd be looking for. In places like Kololo, in places like Muyenga, when you're here, you're even far better than someone staying that side, as you can see.
True.
Ladies and gentlemen, on our show tonight, I have someone with experience in high-end properties, someone who has been dealing in luxury products, who has been dealing in selling these high-end products, and very successful at it. We have an experienced broker by the names of Peter Kajuma Edmond. I love to call him Ignia, but he keeps correcting me. Peter is a land economist, and he will be telling us more about himself. Yes, Peter.
Oh, Kathy, thanks for hosting me. Thanks for the opportunity to be on the show. Like Kathy has said, I'm agent or broker, commonly known broker, Peter Edmond Kajuma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in the game of real estate or the trade or the business, how you choose to call it, of real estate for a decade plus, about 14 years.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite some experience.
Yeah. We started selling small things, rentals. Now we can sell anything.
Okay.
Talk about anything. Luxurious, big, but for tonight, it's luxurious.
Wow.
Welcome to Royal Palms, Butabika. An estate where you go to live and you feel worth the value of living.
Well, some people have argued and some people have said that in such places you find that the space is small. What is the advantage?
Small
That someone,
as
and moreover,
the
these units are paid for before completion.
a lot
So
of money.
what motivates the buyers?
Yes. One, you saw Royal Palms here. We are in a gated community.
Yeah.
Gated community, you have so many endless advantages or benefits of staying in a gated community. You may see the structure as being small.
Yeah.
But when you come inside, the inside is spacious. Spacious. These are 2-storied buildings, 3-storied buildings on a very small land, piece of land. What we can say maybe 10 to 11, where you put a mansion and a boys' quarter. Even here you can, but here the space is, the inside of the house is enough for any home, or if you have a medium-sized family
yeah.
or a small family, it is spacious. These are 3 bedrooms, 4, 5 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Then, okay, where it is seated, where you are enclosed, you may think you only end there. No, you don't actually end there. Look at the spaces of the roads.
Okay.
Our parkings, every house, every house you see has 2 permanent houses, but you are allowed to park on the sides of the spacious roads.
There are 2 parking spaces, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
For each house.
And they have a backyard.
They have a backyard.
But you find that someone with some space bigger than this will fail to get a backyard and a parking space.
Yes,
you're
on 15 decimals, right? But you are planning. This is tested. This is very tested. Yes, very, very tested. Look, now, okay, here, because we did the parking, the owner decided to park in the middle, but you can see if
it's enough parking for 2 cars.
Yes, it's enough. You see our neighbor here is parking on the side, and there's still a lot of space.
Yeah.
The passage is still spacious.
Yeah.
You see at the extreme end, I think the last house, they've decided to park at the close.
Yes.
Yes. It's all this you share. Those are the advantages of staying in such
In other
environment.
words, you're saying, though you have this small place
Place
where your house is,
where the house
but you
sits.
have all these roads, you have all these
All the
amenities, the
amenities, the
security, the
security,
play
the
area,
play area, the children's park is there.
yes, the
The,
gym
the
for the
gym.
adults.
It's the benefits are immense. The benefits are immense.
How does one sell such properties?
Such property.
Because it must not be
Now,
easy to convince someone to put down.
first, you must have the skill of selling. You must know who buys such a thing, because
Okay.
these are luxurious. It is small. Like you mentioned, it's small, but in actual sense, it's not. It's not small.
It's enough space.
Yes.
Actually, when you enter
Yes.
inside,
So you
there is
must know
enough
who are
room.
these buyers. In your data bank or in your client list, you should be identifying. Then people who buy luxurious, these are people who don't want to know. What they want is, am I buying, is there value?
Yes.
Whether there is value or not, I want that. I want that. These are guys these are buyers, luxurious buyers, who say, I want in Royal Palms. I want something nice.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I work for, I hustle a lot. I need a place to be. He has the money. What you present to him must fit his expectations, all above expectations.
How do you determine the expectation?
Through experience, I work with you around the properties. You say, Peter, I want a property of maybe $200,000. I show you the properties of less or slightly above.
Hey.
Then I have to read and interpret you. Know your customer.
Okay.
Know your customer. You have to interpret a person. That this person, his class.
Okay.
If could have told you I want Bugolovi, but you show him the old, some of the properties. They are nice and old properties. These are old homes. You just read every property. You go to 3. You must have determined a person that this one is not a class of Bugolovi. If it's a class of Bugolovi, there is a type of property he's looking at.
Yes.
Yes. So immediately look into your files, into your stock list. Where is this property?
Okay.
Even if it's high in the budget he has estimated for you to work in.
But because you've gauged.
Yes, you've gauged.
And you've realized that though he's saying this price.
You have to be a fast thinker.
Okay.
Listen, interpret, make some conclusions. A person, when a client comes, I have a budget of 200,000 US dollars. Yes. Show him something slightly low, something slightly high.
Okay.
So you work in there.
So how do you get to know that this one is a buyer? Because there are many people who say, I want this kind of property, but when they are not buyers.
Property tourism.
Have you?
Yes. I call
have you
them
encountered
I can call them speculative or buyers who are not yet ready, but they could be in the planning position. So you welcome them.
Okay.
You welcome them. But you see,
you call them property tourists.
Yes, I call them property tourists because my service is not for free.
Hey.
You come to me, maybe you've been referred. Okay, no, I don't want to go because of your question. A referral. Kathy has referred me a person.
Is that how you get your clients?
Yeah, because I've been in the game for some time.
Okay.
So I use the social media. I use social media. I use my Facebook page, Noble Properties and Partners. I use friends.
Okay.
These social groups. I'm a member of area. I'll come to area, Uganda. Kathy will recommend a person, refer a person. Now that person, most cases, by the time we go to a friend like Kathy, Kathy, get me somebody who can get me a property. You refer me. That one, I don't take him as a tourist. Immediately, I go for work.
Okay.
Then there are those who come like social media, because I have a belief in me. Out of the inquiries, 10 inquiries I get in social media, 2 are serious. But I don't play hands down.
Like you treat everyone with the same seriousness?
As a potential. Potential. Then I will see the flow chart, how the conversation is flowing.
Yeah.
Yes, then I'll know this person. The moment I send you 2, 3 properties, online. You commit an appointment to come, and I just know this is my blessing. So it's up to me.
So if someone makes an inquiry, what happens? I've referred someone to you who wants to buy a property. They may not know about Royal Palms, Butabika, but I'm like, this person wants a good high-end property. Then what do you do?
I will first is to get the information, as much as possible information. Yes, I can get from the person to know the need.
Okay.
To know and understand the need. That I want a property 3-bedroom.
Yes.
Then I also give my advice. Okay, you want a property 3-bedroom. Which are your preferred areas?
Okay.
I want Butabika. I want Luzira areas. Okay, you can say Luzira. Then me, I'll take you where?
To Butabika.
Because
it's your listing.
Yes, it's in my listing.
Is it because it's you have an understanding with the landlord, or because
we're in business?
Like what makes you choose a particular property to show?
Before I list any property, I must have talked to the seller.
Okay.
Have an understanding.
Okay.
That if you sell my property, you have your 5%, you have your 10%. So 5% and 10%, who pays? Whom would you prefer to take?
The one who pays
who pays more? Yes. At the end of the day, it's the bigger bread.
Okay.
So I choose Royal Palms. One, I could choose because of experience. I've worked with them before.
And they've paid you?
They've paid me. Yes, okay. That is the experience. So then they have the property. My client wants.
They have the quality.
The quality. Actually, the quality. They tested quality. Yes, so those are the, like, maybe the two I would say. You come, anybody would present in this estate, unless otherwise budget wise.
Yeah.
But
every time you bring them, when they enter,
it is a yes. A yes.
Wow.
Wow. That's luxurious.
So after you have showed clients your property, we are going to take a very short, quick break, dear viewers. And when we come back, we're going to go through this selling process. Like after you've shown this prospect, 2 or 3 options, then what next? How do you bring them to conclusion? How do you bring them to make that decision to pay? And during the payment process, like what happens? Because there are some people out there who want to know. You know, people believe that these houses, it's not Ugandans buying.
It's
but
Ugandans.
I keep telling people that it's Ugandans.
It's Ugandans. Actually, the few foreigners who are in these estates, they are tenants.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's hard-working Ugandans who own these properties.
So, dear viewers, we're going to take a very short break. And when we come back, we will continue the conversation of tales of a broker dealing in high-end properties. See you shortly. Come back from that very brief break. Once again, my name is Catherine Nanteza, and I'm your host tonight, right here at Royal Palms, Butabika, in Luzira. Royal Palms is one of those very exquisite, exclusive, nice neighborhood that if you're someone with a status, or someone who loves your peace and quiet, or someone who enjoys a tranquil, a calm, quiet environment, and someone who values family life, this is the place to live. It has all provisions for a family, all provisions for a good, quiet neighborhood. Even if you traveled for months, your house would stay intact, your house would be safe. And so we continue with the tales of a broker dealing in high end. engineer, sorry, I keep calling you that, Peter
Peter
Kajuma.
Kajuma, Edmond.
You know, Peter does also construction and
Yeah,
has several products in that area, so the confusion.
it's
Yeah,
not a
he's
go.
not an engineer.
It's just
He's
a
an
slip of the tongue.
economist, land
Yeah.
economist, and a real estate agent.
Thank you.
Yes, you were telling us the
But
process of closing a high-end deal.
high-end deal. We stopped at
Showing. You've this
has
prospect
inspected.
has.
As you have to do.
Well, we had not reached the point of inspection.
We
had
the
stopped
needs.
at you
Identifying the need.
showing,
Yes.
identifying the needs
Identifying the
and
needs.
sending
You
the
are showing
listings.
the listings. Then when you get the listings, you have to do would choose like maybe 3, 4.
Okay.
A good buyer whom you've understood. You'll I'm thinking you've presented the 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 properties maybe 4 or 5.
Okay.
When you do more than 5, you're wasting a client's time.
Okay.
You should
Personally, I don't
understand.
show more than 3.
Yeah, thank you. So I am sure he or she has chosen, identified one. You've done a physical inspection.
Okay.
Has appreciated one. What next?
Okay. What do you do next?
Next, present documentation for the client to do a due diligence, private due diligence.
Are you the one that does that for them?
Now that is the biggest error. Most agents and most clients have been misled into or trapped into. When I show you a property and done the presentation, maybe I've done the documentation. If the seller is willing, has been presented, I would expect you to do your own private due diligence.
That is not the work of a
It shouldn't be me, the selling agent or the buying agent. Oh, okay, the buying agent would do for the client, but a selling agent, no.
Okay, you're saying the selling agent should not do the due diligence for the buyer.
Never.
But the buyer's agent can do a due diligence for the buyer.
For the buyer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you've done it. They do their due diligence. They confirm. Next is, remember we've already mentioned the price.
Yes.
So next is to come on table, negotiate. You could have done a pre-negotiation. Now go into the real negotiation with the seller.
Okay.
That I'm selling my property $200,000. The buyer will say, it's okay. Or I have $160,000 US. So you push. If they allow you, which is not common here, which is not very common in Uganda, to give exclusive rights to the agents to do the transaction.
They are giving them nowadays.
Which is not common. I've said it's not common. It is there. So you give them room. You can be as witness.
Okay.
They push their thing. If they conclude, now like here you have to sit with the developer. You negotiate.
Yes.
Me and the developer, we've already negotiated our cut, my salary. If it's 2.5, it's 5, it's 10, I know.
So who pays you?
Usually it is the seller.
Most times.
Most times.
Why? Because I know of agents who are paid by the buyer.
Yes.
So why for you is it the seller?
If the buyer appointed me, please.
Buyer pay.
Buyer will pay. But if the seller appointed me, usually, actually, the laws are not yet very clear about this. But by natural selling real estate, it is the one who has received who pays. This other person, the buyer, could facilitate you. Say, maybe I could have facilitated you in moving around, search for a property. Could say, give you a token of appreciation. Yes.
But I know buyer's agents. Personally, I'm also a buyer's agent. I prefer to be on that side.
On the side of the buyer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although not all the time. There are times when I'm with the seller.
With the seller.
But the ethics dictate that you get represented by one side
One
only.
side of
You
the
can only represent one
one
side
side.
in a
True,
transaction.
true.
So you can't get payment
On
from
both
both
sides.
the buyer and
No,
the
no, no,
seller.
no.
It is not
Though
ethical
it has happened where
unless you have agreed and
yeah,
the buyer and seller know
yeah,
that they are both paying
boss
you.
paying you.
Yes,
You are
that's the only way.
you're a one
Mm.
man deal.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so
It
as
has
we
happened.
continue, we are
Mm,
going to talk about after sales
mm,
services.
mm,
If there are any after sales services you
mm.
do.
Yeah.
You told us about the whole process of selling high-end and luxury.
Mm.
Thank you for taking us through all that. After you have sold, are there any after-sales service as we come to the end of the show?
Yeah, surely like as an agent,
Mm.
we wouldn't say that there are these specifics.
Okay.
But you as an agent,
Mm.
do you want a referral from the the buyer or seller?
Mm-hmm.
What extra thing do you give in?
Okay.
Yes, you could say you could give the contacts of maybe one's painting.
Mm.
Yes, you be available with those contacts. You should have those
Mm. Maybe they want to furnish.
cleaners want to furnish.
Mm.
You have a company you work with. They need a plumber. They
Mm.
need an electrician.
Yes.
Those are the after service, but they may not be part of you as an agent.
Mm.
But you should have those contacts in that this person has come maybe from Hoima, from Mbale, from Guru, from Kisoro. He's
Mm.
buying in Kampala for the first time.
Mm.
Who are the guys? You
Okay.
should have the players.
Okay.
Yes, those are our other stakeholders in the industry. Those are some of the after service I could say.
Mm.
As an agent, I may not have that
Service.
service,
Mm.
but I should have the contacts to ease work for my two.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this very interesting show, thank you, my viewers, thank you, my fans, for always following the Property Land Show. We continue to bring you more interesting shows ahead. Please stay tuned every Saturday, 7:30 p.m. and Mondays at 11 a.m. on UBC TV, and follow us also on U24 TV. From my crew and from my guests, see you next time.
Bye bye.
The